बी पॉजिटिव बी हैप्पी। अस्सलाम वालेकुम, किचन कॉर्नर एंड व्लॉग्स में वेलकम। कैसी है मेरी यूट्यूब फैमिली? उम्मीद है कि अल्लाह के फज़ल व करम से आप सब ठीक ठाक होंगे, खुशबाश होंगे। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जी, आपकी दुआएं और हम भी ठीक। तो जी, ये हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं लंदन आई के व्यूज़, और वो सामने बिग बेन नज़र आ रहा है। और रात की लाइट्स में ये जगह इतनी खूबसूरत लग रही थी, बहुत अच्छा लगा। और बहुत सारे विज़िटर इधर आते हैं हमारी तरह घूमने फिरने। लोकल लोग भी ज़्यादा लंदन के हैं, और इन लोगों को जो इनका छुट्टी का दिन होता है, जो इनका वीकेंड होता है, उस पे ये खूब घूमते फिरते हैं। और इधर सारा विज़िट करने के बाद, घूमने फिरने के बाद, ब्यूटीफुल व्यूज़ देखने के बाद, हमने फिर बस जो थी, मेरे बेटे ने बस हॉप ऑन हॉप ऑफ के नाम से जो है वो बुक करवाई हुई थी, उसकी सैर की हमने। और ये आपको लंदन के काफ़ी सारे इलाके सिटी के अंदर आपको दिखाती है, और बड़ी-बड़ी बिल्डिंग्स हमें देखने को मिली, मुख्तलिफ ब्रांड्स थे। और क्रिसमस से ये पहले की वीडियो है, और उन दिनों में ये काफ़ी लाइट्स वगैरह भी लगी हुई थी, और काफ़ी लोग थे। तो कमेंट्री भी साथ-साथ वो आपको करके तो बता रहे होते हैं जगहों के मुतालिक। तो चलें हम देखते हैं, व्यूज़ एंजॉय करते हैं। रहिए हमारे साथ, और साथ-साथ कमेंट्री भी उनकी चलेगी। जी, बस का ट्रैवल हमारा हुआ स्टार्ट, और हमने जनाब बस के ऊपर वाले हिस्से पे ओपन जगह पे बैठ के तो टूर किया। ठंड तो बहुत ज़्यादा थी, मोटी-मोटी जैकेट्स पहनी हुई थी, लेकिन इसके बावजूद भी सर्दी महसूस हो रही थी। लेकिन हमने एंजॉय भी किया ना। तो आप भी हमारे साथ एंजॉय करें, देखें लाइव लाइव मीन के उनके साथ कमेंट्री भी आप सुनेंगे, और ब्यूटीफुल से व्यूज़ भी देखेंगे, लंदन सिटी की सैर भी करेंगे। तो चलें चलते हैं और देखते हैं जी लंदन सिटी।
It's a luxurious food hall, stocks, perfumes, china on the upper floors. You see the amazing window display. And we come down here, we've got Old Bond Street on the other side. You'll see, keep looking left and right everybody. There's the Burlington Arcade. The design of them, the shape of them, very original here on the right hand side, Old Bond Street. And they do a very good kedgeree in there. It's a wonderful traditional restaurant. The Ritz, another famous place. You've got some lovely Christmas lights outside the hotel here with the Ritz. Maggie Thatcher would stay here in her later life, the ex-Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And she passed away here in one of the suites, I've been told. And we're coming down on the left-hand side, we have Green Park. Now Green Park is very famous because it hasn't got any flower beds. It's the only park that hasn't got any flower beds. The reason being, Catherine, Queen Catherine, the wife of Charles II, just didn't want to dig up anything around Green Park, but it's just a park with grass and trees. And we're going to be coming up to Hyde Park Corner, and in a few moments we'll pass a memorial for the Battle of Britain. Pillars here on the left, the statues of some pilots met each other in no man's land for celebrations and a game of football. It has the Serpentine, which is a lake where people will have a tradition of swimming on Christmas Day for charity, and sometimes they have to break the ice to swim there. And also at the moment we've got the Winter Wonderland, which is very popular at this time of year. It's a circus and a fair, and as we go round you'll be able to see the lights of the big wheels, everything going on in the park. So it's good for the families to go along And I've been told they have a circus there as well. The 8th would come here with his horses and his other families would come here and they would try and actually go and try and search for a stag or do hunting for various other wild boar at the time. Also, Hyde Park is famous for Speaker's Corner, where even today, if you have the ground, you can speak and continue to speak about what. So, the Dorchester, with its Christmas trees out the front, the Dorchester Hotel. A lot of celebrities like to have that as a hotel. Michael Jackson, famous pop star, used to have a suite here at the Dorchester. This winter wonderland's been here in the park since 2007. And on the other side of the road now is Mayfair, which is named after an annual fair that was held on the site of Mayfair. And this is where one of the most expensive areas of London are, in Mayfair. And up here on the right you'll see a beautiful lit up plinth, and it's a dedication and a thank you to the animals in the wars, the horses, the dogs, the pigeons, with the messages across the trenches in World War I. It's just a lovely little touch to have a memory for the animals that helped out in the wars. And as you come past, you'll see a statue of a horse and a dog. By an architect, John Nash, in 1827, which stood outside Buckingham Palace. And that was moved when judged too small for the royal family at the time. Queen Victoria couldn't fit her carriage through it, so they took it from Buckingham Palace and put it up here. It's actually, you can't see the arch anymore, they've put protection around it. But it was also a place for a police observation tower. And also this green area of Marble Arch used to be in the area of like hangings going back 250 years ago or so. People would congregate around here to watch hangings. So everybody, we're coming down to one of the most famous streets that we'll be seeing Christmas lights. We're coming into Oxford Street. We have an amazing display of Christmas lights along the most famous shopping street here in the United Kingdom, and still one of the busiest in Europe. In fact, since 1959. They have here 300,000 stars that light up this old Roman road. They're made out of LED bulbs, made from recycled materials, and they save so much energy. You can sponsor a star, and it's for a actual children's charity called Starlight. Last year, they always have a celebrity or a sports person that lights up, switches on the lights for this street. And last year, you're never going to get this again, last year they had a football player, she was the woman who plays for the Lionesses. Great. And she was the lady that switched on the lights here in Oxford Street. You're never going to get that again. Really bright, switching on the lights. And on the left-hand side, we have, get your cameras ready, still the most famous Well, they're always arguing over two, but Selfridges. Selfridges is still the most popular and favourite shop in Oxford Street, in fact, in the UK. It was established here in 1909 by an American businessman, Harry Gordon Selfridge. And Mr. Selfridge coined the phrase XX shopping days to Christmas. He's always had the first window displays, and what they do, so they are very impressive indeed. We don't get a bus next to us. Here we are, everybody. Make sure on the left hand side they've got some wonderful displays on the front of the Selfridges department store.
ये भी कन्वेंस है। मार्केट है, बड़ा सा स्टोर है।
Now this Stanley Green, he actually had with a megaphone. He marched up and down here for 25 years, campaigning for a new protein diet which he claimed would suppress your desire, and probably was a good thing. He'd wear a sandwich board listing the foods to avoid and also encourage other ones. And he did this for 25 years, up and down this street. We also have another famous department store is John Lewis along here, and they have some very impressive lights as well. We're just passing Bond Street. Bond Street's very famous for all their Fabergés, lovely jewellery, etc., and watches. Also here in Oxford Street, we have the famous HMV, which is a record department store. It began ways with the Beatles, like any group, it wasn't immediately well received. So to start with, they worked on it in the basement, where they cut more tracks onto records. And then history is made. 12 months later, they were the biggest band in the country and one of the biggest in the history of music. HMV. We have John Lewis here on the left now. Lovely department store. Another quite original display. We've got snowballs and stars hanging down from the front of John Lewis. As you can see, they do huge handbags. We're going to be turning right into Regent Street itself, Microsoft building here on the right hand side, and we're going to come down into the first ever lights in central London hung on this very street in 1880s. The angels hanging around been making a regular festive appearance for 10 years now. And they're designed by James Yancey Associates. And were inspired by the original lights in 1954. Regent Street has been a centre of fashion for 100. Apple store for those who have their Apple products. It's the first one in Europe. Royal Drury Lane, which dates back 200 years ago, 1794 or so. Robert Bradley, a very popular comic actor, bequeathed £100 to provide a cake on every 12th day of Christmas for the resident company of the theatre. Chosen resort of the artistic shopper, and it was constructed from wooden beams of 2 ships. Hamley's the most famous store in Regent Street, a shop that sells over 40,000 toys. It's listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's oldest toy store. Have it here on the left, founded by William Hamley in 1760. Been given a royal warrant in 1938 and the second one in 1955. Queen Elizabeth II was a big fan of the shop, no doubt the King, who is now on the throne, still plays with his Hamley's toys wherever he is at the moment. He probably, when he comes to London, he used to stay at Clarence House. Clarence House used to be the house of the Queen's mother. The Chinese. Going way back, what happened was that 2 chaps were playing with a champagne cork, and they got 2 cigar tops of wood, started knocking them back across the table. There came about ping pong. So Hamleys could be proud to have invented ping pong, table tennis. They'd obviously got drunk on champagne, and then they thought, oh, let's start knocking about this. And, hey, this could be a great game, this.
I've never seen it. Last year, I came to walk along. They have one. It's like another small shop.
After Christmas Day, the shops were open. But now we have Black Friday and other sale days. It's always the same, so people are always looking for bargains. Of course, near Christmas, you need some bargains for those Christmas presents.
Charlotte?
Again, everybody turn around, you look to the back, you can see it all the way coming down Regent Street. That's it, everybody. Keep looking left and right. You'll be surprised lights hidden in the side streets. Very similar to Burlington, but smaller, where it says Creed 1760. Look there, that's got some style. With the mosaic floors and the lovely orangey baubles that are hanging from the shops there. And we're coming round now back to Piccadilly Circus. We've come round the other side of Piccadilly. And that's quite a original county fire office when it was obviously from a memorial for Lord Shaftesbury. They also have a street named after him, Shaftesbury Avenue. Now Lord Shaftesbury campaigned at the time years ago to stop Now in a few moments time we're going to go past, and on the right hand side where it says Masala Zone, and it says above it established 1874 restaurant, that in the story goes is where Sherlock Holmes met Dr. Watson. Where that purple light is, restaurant, that is where Sherlock Holmes first met Dr. Watson. And we're coming round, as you say, just on the right there, that's where Sherlock Holmes met Dr. Watson, where it says Criterion established 1874 restaurant. And we're turning into Haymarket now, Haymarket where there used to be a marketplace. And just over to the left is Leicester Square. Now Haymarket is a very famous theatre, His Majesty's Theatre, and we have, that's been here since 1983, the Phantom of the Opera, which always is a very popular theatre as we come down here, Haymarket on the right hand side. And there we have the theatre, Phantom of the Opera, all lining up to go in. And we're now coming round back into Trafalgar Square, everybody. And they have the fountains flowing away. Don't forget to try out the Christmas markets if you're around. And we're going to be turning down into Whitehall. we're coming into famous Whitehall Road, this street, Whitehall. Now Whitehall is famous for, it used to have a palace in Whitehall, but now it's a government buildings where the control of all the civil service of Whitehall. And also, this was where the old Scotland Yard, where the visiting Scottish Royals stayed, was called Scotland. And the road where we turn left there is the name where the first police force was found. But we now have a new Scotland Yard, which is based over looking the Thames on the embankment. And we're coming back up to the Well, everybody, we're nearly coming to an end. Once we've switched the engine off and Badger's done the lights off of it, then we'll be ready to depart. I hope you all had a great time, experienced the lights, the history, the facts that I might have given you. And if you have any loose change, any currency gratuities, it'd be great for me and the driver to help us with our Christmas. So thank you very much, all of you.
हॉप ऑन हॉप ऑफ बस का टूर जी हमारा इख्तिताम पजीर हुआ और हमने बड़ा इंजॉय किया। उम्मीद है कि आपको भी अच्छा लगा होगा। वीडियो पसंद आए तो प्लीज़ लाइक कर दें, चैनल पे न्यू हैं तो सब्सक्राइब कर दें और प्लीज़ बेल आइकन को ज़रूर प्रेस कर दें ताकि जो भी हमारी ब्यूटीफुल सी शेयरिंग्स आपके साथ जो हम शेयर करते हैं आप तक फ़ौरन पहुँचे। तो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट किसी वीडियो या व्लॉग में। अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा और प्लीज़ कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर बताइएगा कि आपको वीडियो कैसी लगी। ओके जी, अल्लाह हाफिज़।